So God bless you. Thank you for joining me today. So because we have Americanized Christianity, then we forget that most of Scripture really isn't even about us. It's not even for us. It's for specific people at specific times. And most of Scripture is really written to Israel. And so I think because we're not all worshiping the same God, we don't understand and we don't have reverence and awe for what God says. And so I understand that this issue with Israel is very contentious. I understand that not everybody agrees with me. That's okay. I don't give them a pass at all. However, I recognize what God says in His Word about the land, and it isn't mine to take from them because God said they get it. In Genesis 13, God gives the land to Abraham. And there's some other scripture references for that as well, for Abraham and his descendants, Isaiah 60:21, Ezekiel 37:35, Jeremiah 3:18, Exodus 6:4, etc. And so if you look historically, like I had mentioned before, what has gone on in the scriptures with reference to the people of Jewish faith. I mean, the whole book of Esther is about them trying to be killed again because they've always been a target. So for me, because I respect what God says in His Word and I fear and awe and revere what He says, then if God says they get it, then okay, it's not mine to have and it isn't mine to give. It's God's to give. So at the end of Jeremiah 31, it talks about Jerusalem being enlarged. And in Jeremiah 32, we see that Jeremiah, he's in prison, but he needs to buy this field. And so in verse 10, it says this: I signed the deed, sealed it, got witnesses, and weighed the money on the scales. And then in verse 14, it says this: Thus says the God of hosts, the God of Israel, take these deeds, both the sealed deed of purchase and the open deed, and put them in an earthenware jar in order that they may last for a very long time. Or it says for a long time. So it says the God of Israel. It says that there in the scriptures. So let's go over to Matthew 15. Starting in verse 21, it's about the Canaanite woman's faith. And so she starts shouting, have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David, my daughter is tormented by a demon. So the disciples, they are telling Jesus, just send her away because she just keeps shouting after us. Jesus answers, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we shouldn't be offended by this. I mean, I feel like I'm just along for the ride, and I feel like that's the attitude that really most Gentiles need to have, that we're really just along for the ride, getting all the blessings that we can have through Jesus's redemption of us on the cross. But the book really isn't about us for the most part, and it's really not written for us predominantly. So what I want to do is go over now to Acts chapter 1, and in verse 6 it says this: So when they had come together, they asked him, this is Jesus and his disciples, Lord, is this the time when you will restore the kingdom to Israel? So we can see that there are just these significant promises for their restoration. And I'm just along for the ride, but with our Americanized Christianity, we like to think it's all about us, and we're just not that special, okay? God says they get the land, and so it isn't for me to say they don't get it. And I don't understand that, and I don't know that I will. And I know we're all in different places, and I certainly don't give them a pass for the things that they've done. I just have awe and fear and revere for the Lord, that the Lord said they get it. So it isn't mine. It's not mine. It's not for me. And I don't have any issues with that. And so this Americanized Christianity makes us think that it's all about us. But really, I'm just along for the ride. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.